Welcome, everybody, to our new consultant call series. This is actually a series of 4 calls that is going to get you started on the right track with Pampered Chef. My name is Jennifer D. Nicholas. I'm your National Executive Director. And I actually started selling Pampered Chef because I wanted the products that came in the kit and I wanted them on sale. I went to a Pampered Chef show and the lady was showing us the round stone. I'd heard about stoneware, but I didn't really know about it. And the lady told us that we couldn't burn on it. And I said, yes, I can. Because if it goes in my oven, it comes out black on the bottom. And she said, oh, honey, you must have never tried Pampered Chef. So once she told me that like all that this stoneware does, I needed it in my kitchen. The crazy thing was I could buy a round stone or I could buy a kit and get the stone and all the other stuff that came in it for the same price. And all I had to do was try it for a couple shows. Now, I didn't cook. I didn't know that many people, and I had never sold anything a day in my life. So I was not your ideal consultant. If you would have met me at a show and you were the consultant, you probably wouldn't have signed me up because I didn't know how to cook. Like if it wasn't hamburger helper or spaghetti, I didn't know how to make it, right? But the lady was like, oh, yeah, surely you can. And so I thought I'll do a couple shows to get the stuff that came in the kit without feeling guilty about it. And then I'll quit. And little did I know that this was the most fun thing that I could have imagined getting into. I was a stay-at-home mom. I used to be an accountant, but was currently a stay-at-home mom. And this gave me a little bit of my own identity. It gave me something a little different to do. I love being a stay-at-home mom. I have been blessed to be a stay-at-home mom for 22 years. I know. I can't possibly have a 22-year-old. But we'll just imagine, right? But yeah, so I have been able to be a stay-at-home mom for 22 years because of Pampered Chef. So I joined to get the kit and do a couple shows. Little did I know 22 years later, I would still be selling Pampered Chef and actually hold the highest position that the company offers. So just to say that, you don't have to know how to cook. You don't have to know a lot of people, and you don't have ever sold anything ever before in your life. You just have to try. Okay? So, I want to welcome you all here. I'm so glad that you decided to give Pampered Chef a try, and I'm so glad that you are part of one of our organization. You will hear you'll be a part of a lot of different groups, right? Because you are a part of your director group. So I know we have several people under Molly. So your director team is the Simonton group, director group, right? But you all are part of the DeNicholas organization, and we are a national organization, one of only 26 in the entire company. Okay, so you joined the right company with the right team. Okay. So I just wanted to show you all a little bit because sometimes people ask me, they're like, well, I know that I'm part of Molly's team or Kayla's team or so-and-so's team, but I don't really know what all that means. So I just want to share with you a little glimpse of what our organization looks like. Okay. So tell me when you can see Disney ears on your screen. Somebody go like this if you can see Disney ears on your screen. Okay. All right. So this is our organization. And you'll see my name at the top. And you will see these names. And the first generation means that they are people that I introduced to the organization and they built a team of their own. Okay. So you'll see Kayla Hay or Joni Grant and Tone Rockwell, and you'll see all different directors here. You're a part of either one of these, or even my second generation means that the first generation maybe added a new team member. So you'll see Leah Limro here. And I heard, and here's Laura Fullerton. So if you're part of the Fullerton team. And then Bob is my third organization. So now one of you said that you're part of Bob's team, and here's Stacy's team. So this is just kind of how your organization falls in our national team. Okay, just to give you an idea. And the goal of our organizations together is to earn our green Minnie or Mickey bow. And the way we do that is by working together and selling $5,000 as a team. And even you as a brand new consultant, or if you submit one sale or $1 or one show, you help that organization meet their goals for the month. So I just wanted to share that with you to give you a little glimpse of what our organization looks like. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. I told you a little bit about myself, and I just started just to get the kit. Little did I know that this business could be so much more than just a kit. I was pleasantly surprised when I got on some of the the new consultant trainings at the potential that you really can have with a business like this. And a lot of times we don't really know. We just tell me this. Tell me in the chat who signed up because they wanted the deal of the kit. Tell me in the chat. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just wanted the kit. Okay, so Leah did too. I know Leah definitely started with the kit, and she has gone really far in our organization. So you'll be hearing from Leah, I'm sure, over the next couple of weeks in our training series. And if it wasn't the kit, what was the main reason that you joined Pampered Chef? So put that in the chat too. And what are you looking to get from your business? Is it a little extra side money to pay for gas? Oh my gosh. I went to fill up my Traverse with gas today. I couldn't believe how much it cost, right? It's like every time I go pump, it costs more and more and more. And then, or maybe you just want to earn some money to pay for groceries. Went to the grocery store too. That definitely doesn't get cheaper. I'm amazed every time I go, the prices of things, how they've gone up, right? So what would you do with an extra $500? If you were able to make $500 a month with Pampered Chef, what would you use that extra money for? And I'm gonna let me screen share again here. What would you use an extra $500 for? Vacation? Yes. Okay, can you all see my screen? See, now I can't see chat when I'm sharing my screen. Why does this have to be difficult? All right, maybe Leah can help us. Would you use it for groceries? Would you use it for school supplies, to make a car payment? Maybe to pay taxes on your house or a new appliance, maybe just build up an emergency fund. How about holiday debt? Like, so you don't have holiday debt, earning some extra money. So then you have a debt-free holiday, right? I remember a couple years ago, I went to a training, and I'll never forget this because this lady, we were just sharing, like, why did you start Pampered Chef, or what has Pampered Chef done for you? And she said she just started Pampered Chef. If I can get through this, she wanted to be able to buy her sons new tennis shoes for school. And she had to alternate. She had two sons. And one year, one of the boys would get new tennis shoes. And then the next year, the other boy would get new tennis shoes. And she was able to buy both that previous year was able to buy both of them brand name tennis shoes in the same year when they started school. And that was huge for her. Like, that was a big aha. And the potential of Pampered Chef is big. Like, we can earn lots of money and do lots of things, but it also can be new tennis shoes for your family. And I remember a new consultant was so excited because she was able to pay for summer camp for her son. He wanted to do a science camp, and she was able to provide that for him just by doing a couple shows as a new consultant. So, we kind of have to start thinking, what would I do with some extra money? So I hope you all are putting that in the chat. I don't know where my chat disappeared, but when I'm sharing the screen, I can't show it to you. So I did ask one of our still newer consultants to share with us tonight. Well, she's a director. And I want you to meet Christy Jefford. She joined Pampered Chef in February of this year. She is a full-time teacher, and in her first 30 days of business, she sold over $8,800 in Pampered Chef in 30 days. In her first 90 days, she sold over $18,000. And in her first 6 months of business, she brought in commission in her pocket over $8,000. So who on this call would love to bring in an extra $8,000 in 6 months? So Christy, I know I saw you on here. I'm going to stop sharing so we can hear from you, Miss Christy.
Hi, how are you tonight? Well, I'm so glad to see you all here. I still feel like a brand new consultant, even though like the first few months have just been amazing for me, but I still feel like I've got a lot to learn. But what I would say for me, what helped me do well getting off the blocks and getting started was just kind of focusing on the like the simple things. I guess I want to say simple because when you first start, there's so much to learn. All these things about how do you, I mean, I didn't even know how to use Facebook because I didn't have a Facebook page. So I had to start all from scratch. But I got such good coaching. I actually started under Laura Fuller, who's on the call tonight. She and I are friends, and I saw her start, and she was so enthusiastic about it. And I'm thinking I want to retire in about another year. So I'd like to start something, a flexible business that I can do when I retire. And I didn't expect it to take off. I didn't know the potential for this. But I just started out, and I really literally talked to everybody that I knew and wanted to see if they'd like to, support my new business by having a party. And then I had a lot of people. I'm lucky. I've got a lot of really supportive people in my life. So I started with those parties. And then I worked with them, like with the host coaching. I started using the same host coaching that Laura shared with me that she got from Kayla. And I was just really very consistent about that, about making sure I was always communicating clearly with the hosts. And I always wanted them to know like where they were in the party, like what were the sales, and let's see, how close are they to their next reward. And if they had a party booked, what were they going to get out of that? And what if we got 2 more parties? And did they know anybody who maybe would like to have parties? So it would help them to get their special $50 credit that they could use in the future. And I think just doing that got my hosts excited. And then it was also when they got excited, then their friends got excited, and I was able to book more parties. So I think part of it, I think there's always going to be some ups and downs. It's not always going to be like these great. I mean, I had some parties that were like $1,200, $1,400 parties. It was crazy. And, it's not always going to be like that. I think like recently it's been, my parties haven't been as strong as that. But I think for me, I just want to be consistent. I want to keep doing what I'm doing because I realize my husband's in real estate. And so I know that there are cycles, the sales cycle. And I'm not going to let like a month where my sales are lower, I'm not going to let that get me down, because I know that like the fall season's coming up, and I know that that's a big, big selling season for Pampered Chef. And so I really want to capitalize on the fall season. So I've got to be consistent with my business now so that I can do well in another month or two.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing, Christy. And I know you had mentioned before, because I've talked to you quite a few times, but you had mentioned that these types of calls really helped you at the beginning of your business. Is that true? Yep. I see you
It
all.
is true. I think the Monday night calls were pretty much the only ones that were happening when I first started, and there were just several people right off the bat that were on those calls and were sharing, and they had such great information that I could take and I could go and use immediately. There's always way more information that I could take and use because there's just so much, and I think that's the one thing that I had to kind of brace myself and like say don't overextend myself, focus on the things that I feel like I can do and I can do well, and that as I get good at those I can start to add more things to my repertoire. But I did kind of focus on those simple, basic, straightforward things to build a good, a good basis for my business. But those calls are great. I think this series is going to be great for people that are just starting out. I know that I had a new consultant that just started with me that went to a Monday night call, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Christy, I think it sounded like they were just speaking Greek because I didn't know what they were talking about." I said, "And that's okay. You're just getting started, but tell you what, let's make sure you're doing these new consultant calls because it's going to give you that base that you need, and then you're going to understand all the other things that they're talking about on Monday."
Yes, yes. And that's what I'm really excited about is that these Tuesday night calls, these new consultant calls, are going to be catered just for you at the very start of your new business. And kind of take a look around at the people that are on this call. They're all pretty much all are in the same place that you are. And then you'll get to know these people in that new consultant chat group that we have on there that's facilitated by Kelsey and Joni and Molly. And so these are going to be your buddies, right? These are going to be the people that you kind of grow up with Pampered Chef in. And so this is like a good, safe place that you can ask questions and you can be vulnerable. And the people that will be leading these calls are people that have been where you are and they have done the things that we're asking you to do. And listen, I am a very average person. Okay. I put on my shoes the same way you do. Um, I I am successful in this business because I don't give up. If I see there is someone that can be successful in this business, I know there's a way that they've done it and I want to learn from them. Right. So, what I'm asking you to do on these calls is really just be open minded and know that the people that are training you have done well at this business and they are sharing their successes with you. How did they get there? What did they do? And really, learn from them. And one thing I love about this business and this team especially is that we have our own businesses, but we don't compete with each other. Like we want everyone in this team to be successful. And so when you do something well, we cheer you on and we, give you a pat on the back. And if you're not doing so well, then we try to help you share ideas and figure out what may be missing or what, how we can help you get there. Right. So know that I started with the same kit that you did. I started in the same exact place. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have Facebook, just like Christy said. I didn't have Facebook when I started Pampered Chef. I had to build that. And now I have 5,000 friends on Facebook and I have to delete friends every other week because I keep adding. Like that's my business platform, right? I had to learn how to network and how to reach out to people and how to get bookings and how to get sales because I've never sold anything a day in my life. So those are the things that we're going to teach you in this series. And then Monday night calls follow with building on those things that we're going to teach you in this series. Okay. So throughout this, please use the chat for questions. I know we have some directors on here and they, can help keep up with the chat to answer questions if I can't when I'm, on here training. But this, again, is a safe place. And I can guarantee that some of the questions you have are questions that other people have as well. Okay. And listen, I love a training call. And even being in this business 20 something years, I still learn stuff every time I get on one of these calls. So again, just be here with an open mind and know that, some of these things really work. So back to our issue, our task at hand. And Christy, thank you so much for sharing. And just hearing Christy's story, she got in this business and I'm pretty certain that she didn't have really huge expectations. She didn't know what it was going to be like, right? And she was like, well, I guess I'm going to get on these things and see what I can do and see where it goes. Little did she know she was going to, grow a team and sell, you know, $15,000 in 90 days. Like, but she just did the things that were taught to her. So the things that we teach you on the call, like really take them into account and try to apply those things, because those things do work. All right. So let's talk about what you can get as a brand new consultant. Okay, so I'm guessing that everybody on here has been able to get on Consultants Corner. If you have not, pop in the chat that, if you don't even know what Consultants Corner is, put that in there. But Consultants Corner is our little back end of the home office, right? It's where we can enter shows and we can submit sales and we can find more trainings and we can find the specials and all of the things. Okay. One of the first things that you should get in an email from the home office is the bonus products that you can earn as a brand new consultant, right? Anybody like free stuff? I mean, I love me some free stuff. Pampered Chef can dangle a dirty old shoe in front of me and I'm gonna be like, I'm earning it. I'm earning it. What do I have to do? How many shows? How much do I have to sell? I'm on it. I want it. And they do every single month. They have great products and bonuses that we can earn as consultants. But as a brand new consultant, lots of fun stuff. We call them success rewards. So the more you can do in your first 30 and 180 days, the more free stuff bonuses you earn. So I hope y'all can see this. I know it's a little small. Let's see if I can hit the play button and make it bigger. Okay. So, and again, you should either have a copy of this in your that came in your kit, and also a digital copy that the home office should have sent you. So, the new consultant success rewards, first thing that we're looking for is selling $500 as a new consultant. When you do that, you are going to earn the mini loaf pan and the beer bread mix. But you know what's even better than that? You're going to earn commission. All right. Anybody like commission? So on $500 that you sell, you are earning $100 in your pocket. Okay. So typically an average show, one show averages about $550. And so there you go. One show, one good show with a good host that does the things that you're asking will get you $100 in the first fast track or success rewards bonus. In your, let's see, the next level 2, is when you sell $1,250 in your first 90 days, and you get this little kit and caboodle of stuff. Now, you may have signed up with a signing bonus. Like last month, we had like an air fryer deal. Maybe your consultant had a special where she had an air fryer deal. Or maybe you sign it up this month and you can earn your kit price back. Know that those specials are a 30-day bonus. So you will want to sell that $1,250 in your first 30 days. You earn that bonus as well as these bonuses. Okay, so these are double dipping, giving you a bunch of extra stuff. Okay, now when you sell $1,250, you are going to make anywhere from $250 to $287 based on the month that you sell it. Okay, so we work on a graduated scale. So the more you sell in any given month, the higher commission you make, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Level 3, when you sell $2,500, you earn a stainless skillet. Level 4, you can earn the knife block set. And then level 5, you earn the whole stand mixer and a consultant bag. So I think Christy earned all of these in her first 90 days, probably sooner than that. But then you also can earn cash bonuses. Anybody like cash? Cold hard cash. You can earn up to $3,000 cash in your first 180 days of business. So we're going to talk about that on a later call, but just wanted to make sure you had that. Keep that in front of you, because you all, I'll tell you what, when I started selling Pampered Chef, again, I just wanted the kit, and I was going to do a couple shows to fulfill my obligation, so I didn't, feel bad, feel guilty for like snatching the kit and running. But they showed me these success rewards, and I wanted those products. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll do a couple more shows so I can earn that product. And then I earned that one. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll do another show and I can earn that product. And then I earned that one. Little did I know what I was doing was creating consistent business with consistent habits. Okay. So let's move on to the next. Do you all see the success rewards sheet in front of you? Again, I know these are small. I'm going to share them with you in our new consultant chat later. But this kind of gives you an idea of what your possible income is, and then also shows you your commission that you can make. So every month, your commission is going to be minimum 20%, but depending on how much you sell that month, it can increase. So say, for example, you sell $12.50 in August, right? Then you are going to make the 23%. And then maybe September, you book some shows, it's a new catalog, you're doing great, you're selling $3,000 and you make 24%. So it goes up based on how much you sell in that given month. Okay. All righty. Now, I don't know why this is on both screens. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my screen straight because I have my notes on one page and my pictures on the other. All right, so as a new consultant, there is so much training available to you. I don't know if anybody has gotten on Consultants Corner and you got in Dash, and like there's like training after training after training after training. I know I was talking to a lady, she's like, Jennifer, I don't even know what I did. I'm like 32 trainings in. I think I just, maybe I made a bad decision, because I like 18 hours later, I'm 32 trainings in and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm like, whoa, time out. It's like the black hole, right? Just like Facebook, you get on there, 3 hours later, you're watching videos of cats. It's kind of like that with the training. So we're going to break it down for you. Okay. We want you to do it step by step. And let me tell you, the most important thing of being a Pampered Chef consultant is having shows on your calendar. If you don't have shows on your calendar, we call bookings. If you don't have bookings on your calendar, all the rest of training is pointless. Okay. So we want to get you some bookings, right? And typically we start with a launch party. So I like to see everybody. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I like to see your all's faces. So if you don't have your cameras on, turn them on. Show me what you look like. I feel like I get to know everybody better. So you have to have bookings on your calendar. And we start with a launch party. If you just signed up, your recruiter will typically run that launch party for you. And then they'll help you, kind of give you like on the job training so you can see what it's like as the consultant and the host. And then hopefully they help, give you your host coaching and train you how to have a good show. So then you can in turn do that with your host as well. We are going to teach you host coaching too on a later call. But again, if we don't have bookings on our calendar, we don't need to know how to coach a host to $1,000 party. We don't need to learn how to network with people in a party if we don't have a party booked. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to learn how to book a party. Okay, now, before you all signed up to sell Pampered Chef, or maybe you joined a Pampered Chef party, who here heard of Pampered Chef? Put your hands up or put in the chat, yes, I've heard of Pampered Chef, or no, if you never heard of Pampered Chef before you signed up, put it in the chat. So Pampered Chef has been around for 44 years, and Pampered Chef has built a household name, right? When you hear Pampered Chef, what do you think of? Oh, I love that stone. Oh, I have that food chopper. I've had it for 20 years. Or my stone is black, right? You'll hear people say that. Maybe that's the first thought you have when you hear Pampered Chef, right? Pampered Chef has built an amazing name for itself, and people buy Pampered Chef every single day. People book Pampered Chef parties every single day. What you get to do as a Pampered Chef consultant is attach your name to this amazing brand. So if you were to start a corner bakery, how would you let people know that they need to come and buy from the corner bakery? You'd share it, right? You would tell everybody. You would blast it on Facebook, you'd send private messages, you'd text people, you would talk to people when you're out. You're like, oh my gosh, I started the corner bakery. You need to come on and try out the muffins or buy a cake or taste a bagel, or right? You would tell everybody. This is the same idea with a cheaper investment. Could you imagine how much it would be to start a corner bakery, right? We have like a $50 buy-in investment. But what if you treated this Pampered Chef business the same as you would treat an investment for the corner bakery that would cost thousands of dollars? You'd have to take a loan out, right? But thankfully, we don't have to do that. But if you had a loan for your corner bakery, you would be sure that it was successful, correct? Just because we got a $50 kit doesn't mean we don't need to ensure that we're successful, right? So treat this business as your corner bakery. And how are you going to tell everybody? How are you going to share it? How are you going to make sure that people come to your business and look for you as the Pampered Chef person? We have to tell everybody. We have to network. We have to meet people. We have to ask people to help us get started by doing a show, because our show is our advertisement. That's what's helping us meet people, and that's what's going to get our name out there, right? So we want to start reaching out to people, everybody, right? And when I say everybody, I mean everybody that puts food in their mouth can be one of your new customers. And what are you going to say to them? Well, we're going to be real. We're going to say, hey, I'm so excited. I just started this new Pampered Chef business. I really think this is going to be a great way for me to bring in some extra money for whatever, for summer camp, for Christmas, to pay gas, to pay for groceries, to pay car payment. We're looking to move into a new house. I'm hoping that's what my plan is. Share, like, be real. You're a real person. And the first people you're reaching out to are friends of yours, they're family members, they're neighbors, they're people that know you, that like you, right? So be real with them. I started this business. I needed to be successful so I can do blank. I need to put braces on my kids' teeth, right? And I can't wait to share with you how to make cooking easier. I'm looking for 5 hosts, and I would love for you to be one of them. In turn for helping me, I'm going to help you stock your kitchen with tons of free stuff. Okay? Go through, like, if you're going through Facebook, look and see who's on there, right? And think about, how can Pampered Chef help this person? So I know Leah. I'm looking through Facebook and I see Leah. Leah loves to cook for her family. So I will send Leah a message, and I was like, hey, Leah, I don't know if you saw, I started selling Pampered Chef. Girl, I know you love to cook. I'm always seeing you post recipes and stuff online. Are you familiar with Pampered Chef? And Leah, you know what Leah's going to say? Oh my gosh, I love my stone. It's black. Or she's going to say, oh, I love my food chopper. I've had it for 20 years. Right? She's going to tell me something that she loves about Pampered Chef. And then I'll say, you know what? I'm so excited that my first host are going to get a ton of free stuff. And I'm going to teach all your friends how to eat at home on a budget. Can I include you in the great deals we have in August? And Leah's like, oh, I like deals. Oh, I like meals on a budget because it's expensive eating out. Sure, why not? Right. So you are going to tell them the benefit that's in it for them and let them know that they're helping you get started and meet new people. Right. It's a win win. So we're going to give you some different words that you can use. I'll put these in the new consultant chat. Um, these are just kind of little scripts that you can start with, but take it and make it your own. Make it you. How would you talk to somebody? Um, I don't know if y'all know that Facebook has this really cool feature. It's called Voice Clip. If you've gotten a message from me, you probably got a voice clip. I love it. I love using the voice clip. Why? Because it's me. You get to hear me and I get to hear you. And it's like having a real conversation, right? And people can hear how excited you are because you're excited, right? You're excited. You just started this new business and you want to get it going and you want to, help people cook at home more. They'll hear that in your voice. And if they see a whole big long typed up script, they're not super likely to read it, unfortunately. But if it's a voice clip, they're very curious about what it's about and they're going to listen to it. Did you know you could record one voice clip and you can forward it out? You can. Yep. So now if you record some and you're like, "Hey Cheryl, I just wanted to reach out and let you know I'm selling Pampered Chef and I want you to, I'd love to teach you and your friends how to cook at home." Then don't forward that to Deanna and Andrea because it says Cheryl in it, right? So just make sure that you're not putting a first name in there if you're going to forward it. But that's one of my favorite tips. Um, and you actually can forward a voice clip to 5 people. So maybe I forward it to Leah and Sabrina and Deanna and Andrea, and I can't forward it to more than 5, but then I can go into the first one I shared it to. So if I shared it to Sabrina, I can go into Sabrina's message and I can share from her message 5 times. Does that make sense? And then I can go in Deanna, she's the second one I sent the voice clip to. I can go into the one I sent to her and I can share that out 5 times. What? Yeah, I got all the tips. You just hang tight with me. I'll give you all kinds of cool tips and tricks. Okay, so we're going to start asking. And the goal, I want you to do this. This is exactly what I did as a new consultant. I made a goal of messaging 30 people a day. I wanted to reach out, make 30 contacts every day to get the bookings that I needed to fill my calendar. And now, out of the 30 people I messaged, I'm going to be real with you. There's going to be a lot of people that don't reply back. And the first thing you're going to think, because this is human nature, first thing you're going to think is, oh my goodness, they're ignoring me. They just don't want Pampered Chef and they're not going to answer me back. And I shouldn't even have signed up. I shouldn't even have done this. I don't know what I was thinking. I sent 30 messages and I didn't get one reply back. Okay, that's what we tend to think. You know what's really happening? And I'm going to tell you this is the truth. And you'll know soon that this even happens with me, right? This is what happens. I'm busy. I'm gone all the time. I got kids. I'm running kids here and there. I'm trying to go to the grocery store. I like to multitask. So if I'm waiting in the car rider line, I'm scrolling through messages. And I see that Leah had sent me a message, and Leah's like, "Hey, Jennifer, can you get me that recipe you talked about on the call last night?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm getting ready to type Leah back." And then, whoops, the car rider's getting ready. I got to roll a little bit. I got to drive a little bit. So let me put this phone down, and I'm going to get back to Leah in just a minute, right? So then the car rider stops. I've been talking to the person out the window. And then I'm like, oh, let me pick up the phone. I got to get back to what I was doing. Let me check messages. Okay, let's see. Deanna sent me a message. Let me see what Deanna wants. Deanna's talking about, oh, I got my show booked. I'm so excited. I'm like, yay, Deanna, blah, blah, blah. And then Andrea sends me a message. She's like, hey, Jennifer, can you send me that script for the new consultant thing? I'm like, oh yeah, let me send her that thing. Oh, car rider line's going again. And then I pick up my daughter. Hey, Kylie, I'm so glad to see you. Did you have a good day? And then we're driving, got run to the grocery store, and Leah's sitting there like, I sent her a message. I said, I'm just waiting on her to get back to me, right? Surely she's gonna get back to me. And I go to the grocery store, and I'm in the grocery store. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to send Leah that recipe she asked me for. I'm gonna do it as soon as I get home. And then I get home and I got to put the groceries away. And then I get a phone call. And then my husband comes home and I got to start dinner. And then I got to do da 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 da. And I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And then I'm laying in the bed and I'm like, oh my gosh, Leah asked me to send her a recipe. And I have not. I'm going to do that first thing in the morning. And then guess what happens when I get up in the morning? The day happens. Okay. So here, Leah saw, she sent me that message and she saw I read that message. And here she's over there thinking she just don't want to send me that recipe. Is that what it is? No, life happened. I promise you, these people are not ignoring you. Life is happening. Here's another thing. How many people's kids gets their phone and plays on their phone? You know how many times they go opening Facebook messages, they don't even know what they're doing? That's happened, right? Do not think because people have seen your message and they did not reply, do not think they are ignoring you and that is a no. That's not the case. Okay. And then 2 days goes by and Leah's like, Jennifer still hadn't sent me that recipe. I'm going to message her again and ask her for it. And Leah sends me another message. And guess what I say? Oh my gosh, Leah, I am so glad you sent me that message. I thought about you and I was going to send it. And then life happened. So just because you send them a message the first time and they don't reply, I want you to know that life has happened. And I want you to follow up and say, hey, Leah, I just wanted to check in and see if you got my first message. And guess what Leah's going to say? Oh my gosh, I thought I replied. Maybe they even typed up a message and forgot to hit send. And y'all know that's true because you know y'all have done it too, right? Go like this if you've done that. If you thought you sent a message because you typed up the message in your head, right? Okay. So not only are we going to send an original message, but we're going to follow up with them the next day. We're going to say, hey, I know life was busy. I just wanted to check and see if you got my message. And I will guarantee somebody's going to say, oh my gosh, thanks for checking back in. Okay. Now here's another realization. When you send follow-up messages, you will hear people say no. It happens. You will hear people say no. But that no does not mean no, not ever. That no probably means no, but, or I'm really busy. I don't know that I would have time to do a show. So normally it's a no with a hesitation because they have a valid concern. Either they think they don't know a whole lot of people, or they feel like they don't have time to do it, or they did a show before and it wasn't successful. Do you know just because they're busy, they don't know it doesn't take that much time to host a show? It's all online. You can do it in your PJs whenever you have 15 minutes during the day, right? So sometimes it's a no, but they can be persuaded if you address their hesitation. So if they say no, you could say, may I ask what's keeping you from giving it a try? Oh, well, I tried to do a Pampered Chef show before and it just didn't turn out. Well, who knows? Maybe they didn't have a consultant that knew what they were doing. Maybe it was a crazy time in their life and they didn't invite enough people, or who knows? Who knows what happened? I have some hosts that get $32 in sales on one of their shows. The next time we do the show, they have $1,000 show. Why? Who knows? Maybe because life was too busy that time. We don't know. And do not be afraid to ask someone. If they say no, do not be afraid to say, may I ask what's keeping you from giving it a try? Or my second alternative, is that a no, not now, or no, not ever? Or no, not is that a no, not ever, or a no, not right now? And 90% of the time, probably 99% of the time, they're going to say, just not right now. And then I say, well, when do you think might be a better time? And I had somebody tell me, Like they were like, "Oh, I'm just way too busy now. I just don't have the bandwidth for it." And I was like, "Oh, I get it. What's keeping you so busy?" "Well, my daughter's in uh dance competition this week and I just can't put another thing on my plate this week." Thinking, "Girl, I asked you to do a show this week. I'm booked up. How about next week?" Right? So they're they're in this time frame. So I asked her too. I was like, "Well, when you're finished with dance competition, do you think you might want to?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I was like, "So when does that finish?" She said, "Oh, in 2 weeks." I was like, "Oh, great. Here we go. I got an opening for you." Right. So here in my mind, I'm thinking like 6 months from now. And she's just like, "I'm just trying to get through this week." Right. Okay. So keep asking. Ask 30 people a day, every day until you get your booking. So I want to give you all a little challenge. I want to challenge you to add 5 bookings to your calendar in the next 5 days. Okay. And how do you do that? You do it by reaching out to 30 people over the next 5 days. I want to share a little story of one of our teammates. Her name's Lori. And Lori was on one of these new consultant calls with us. And she has a full time job. She just wanted something fun. She works with her husband. Her husband has a cabinet business and she works with a whole bunch of guys. And so she kind of just wanted Pampered Chef to be around some girls, honestly. She was like, "I need some fun. I need some girls to talk to. Why not try it?" So she got on the new consultant call and we suggested, send 30 messages a day for 5 days. And at the end of her week, she had zero bookings before the call. At the end of her week, she had 27 bookings on her calendar because she committed to sending 30 messages and doing follow-ups. Okay, she had 27 bookings on her calendar. In the first week, she held 4 shows and she made $400 commission in 1 week. At the end of her second week, she had 5 shows and she made $700 commission. And the end of her first month, after taking this class and committing to sending her 30 messages, she shared the fun of this business with other people. She promoted to fast track director and she made almost $4,000 in her first month of business. It's doable. It's absolutely doable. Okay. And I also want to share this with you too. I just love stuff like this. Someone once said, "I've missed," and I want you to think about this when you're sending messages out and you're feeling like, "Oh, they hadn't sent me messages or they hadn't replied," or, the only person that replied said, "No, they're not interested," right? Because this happened. So this is, someone says, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted with the game winning shot and I missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeeded." Do you know who said that? Michael Jordan. We think of Michael Jordan as this amazing guy that has done remarkable things. But he failed so many times getting to where he is today. And I'm going to make it even a little more real. You all, I have heard more no's than I could ever count. But the one thing that has gotten me to where I am today, which is the top level of the company, I have an organization of over 600 consultants, and we sell over $3 million in a year. I got that by continuing to hear the no's and pushing on because I know that there is always a yes if you keep going. There's always a yes. So maybe make it your goal to send messages every day until you get that yes. And I want you to celebrate that yes, because that yes could be your $1,000 show. It could be the show that you get 3 bookings off of. It could be the show that's your first teammate. That one show could be what sets the pace for the rest of your business. And I will tell you, I had a show like that. One of my shows, well, I did, when I signed up, I had 3 shows that I started with. My mother-in-law, I talked her into doing a show. She invited everybody that was 80 years and older. I think they each bought a nylon spatula, like legit. That show didn't even sell $100, right? That didn't get me anywhere. My second show, my mom hosted a show. She had 1 friend show up. 1 friend. That's it. My third show, my third and final show, that's all that I had at that point, was my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law invited friends from her church, from her work, from her neighborhood. And she had about 6 people that came to the show. And I got 3 bookings. And that one show, my sister-in-law's show, was the one that set me up for success to come, because I got 3 bookings from her show, and I went and did their shows, and I got 2 bookings from each of their shows, and that continued my business. So I only knew 3 people to start with. That's all I knew to do shows with me. But it's not necessarily who I know, but who I know, who they know, right? So I hear a lot of people say, well, I only have 30 friends on Facebook. Okay, well, meet their friends, network with them. How can you meet more people? If you had to take out a loan for your corner bakery and you had to make that successful, how hard would you work to meet people? Do that. Be that. Okay. So I know we're running short on time. But I did want to share with you. I actually wanted a little bit of time in case anybody had any questions. And then, as far as getting set up in Consultants Corner, right? Let me just show you this quick little thing. When you log into Consultants Corner, there's so much information here. Again, you can go down a rabbit trail and you can spend hours. Don't do that. Don't do that until you have bookings, right? We need bookings first. That's our goal for this week, is to add 5 bookings to our calendar. And when you sign into Consultants Corner, you'll actually see like a little snapshot here, and it'll tell you like sales and shows and all that. You might not even have any of that yet, right? Because you hadn't even done your first show. So, but look here, you have booking tips. You can click on that, and it will give you words to say and booking tips. Now, I thought I was signed. Oh, this is where I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you a new consultants login, because when you come in yours, you're going to see My Success Rewards is going to tell you how many days you are in your 30 days or your 90 days. It'll show you what your next goal is. And it'll even break it down. If you click on program details, you can click on that and it will give you more details, like just what I went over. So utilize some of this stuff. This is good info, right? This is what we talked about. How you earn your fast track rewards. It'll talk about the cash bonuses and stuff, which we're going to talk about that a little bit later too. So just kind of scroll through there and get familiarize yourself with that. But what I wanted to show you is these. Let me get back. Takes a minute. Let's go back home here. Buttons everywhere. Okay. This here, booking tips. And when you go in here, it is going to give you the words to help you get started. Okay. That's not the one I wanted. I know it has new consultant booking tips. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Tips to book parties. Right here in your success rewards. This is going to give you wording for new consultants, right? So getting started, if you click on here, this gives you words that you can send people. So here you can announce that you're a new consultant. Here's reach out to people on your launch list. So click in here and use those words. And I'll share some words with you too, but this is, super helpful how to get started. There also is, let me see on here. There is a task list, new consultant task list. Where is this? Hold on. This looks a little different. I have a newer version of Consultants Corner, so I'm trying to remember where this is. And this is a new consultant thing. Well, I'll get you to that. But there should be an email that gives you a new consultant task list to get started. And you can start going through those. But honestly, until you have bookings on your calendar, there's not a whole lot of sense in doing all this other stuff. I do have this new consultant spring training. This is like steps 1, 2, 3 as a new consultant. And I'll share this with you as well. But once you get your parties booked, then you can start here. It's how to set up a Facebook business page, because you do want to run your parties through a business page, because selling on Facebook needs to be done through a business page. So here you're getting started and you click here, and then it gives you a little video on how to set up a business page. So then you can watch it and then do it at the same time. Sorry, my internet is extremely slow. But I'll send you this and you all go through it. It tells you how to set up a business page, and then how to set up Pampered Chef parties on the Pampered Chef website. Now, this teaches you how to use Table. Let's not get into that. Let's wait a couple weeks, okay? So your first parties, do it without Table. Just do it without Table. We'll go down that road later. It teaches you first base, how to set up your Facebook party group, how to use boards if you want to do that, to pre-schedule your post, all that's in there. And then continue on. So again, none of this is important until you have your bookings. And honestly, we run our parties Friday to Friday, or sometimes Friday to Saturday. I extend through Sunday, but we typically start them on Friday. So you could easily book some shows today and tomorrow, and then get them, set up for Friday. So if you're a brand new consultant, check in with your recruiter, and they can help you do that, how to get those things set up. And then I'm going to send you some information over in consultants in our new consultant chat as well. But yeah, let's go out there and get some bookings, and let's do like Lori did and book 27 shows and get the commission coming in, right? Does anybody have any questions for me right now? How do you recommend doing a party without Table? I mean, just using a Facebook group and posting, pre-scheduling in the Facebook group. Sabrina, you and I can talk a little more about that too. Okay. Table is just an added element that you can send people over so they can see more videos and they can click through stuff. But I mean, we've been doing parties without Table for years. Table's a newer concept. And it's just an extra something you have to learn right now as a new consultant. And I don't feel like that's as important as just booking the parties and doing it on Facebook. And then we can learn Table soon. Deanna, you and I are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to help you line up your stuff for your Friday party. Who else has questions? All right, so let's do a giveaway. We have quite a few newbies on here. Let's see. How many is on here? Okay, Leah, pick a number 1 through 30, 1 through 28. You're muted.
10.
10. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Well, I don't know who iPad number 2 is. Who's iPad number 2? iPad number 2. Who's our winner? Come on mute. Tell me who you is.
Stephanie Parmacorn.
Say it one more time. I gotta write you down.
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Oh, nice.
All right. Congratulations, Stephanie. You are a winner of some Happy Mail. And then Kylie, give me a number 1 through 28. Kylie, my daughter's in the background here. 14. She says 14. Lucky number 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Jennifer Paolo. I hope I said that right. Paolo, you are getting Happy Mail number 2. Get some Pampered Chef logo stuff. So listen, my friends, I will need your address. Well, I'll try to look them up. But if you can find me on Facebook, you can send me a message with your address, and I'll get those out to you. But okay, so our goal is everybody on here, we want to add 5 new bookings to our calendar. And then next week, we're going to meet back here. We're going to celebrate those that got our 5 bookings and give away some more Happy Meal. How about that? So you all, your task is to 1, send your 30 messages a day. Find 5 new bookings. Keep sharing your excitement. You all talk about it on Facebook. And we're not saying, hey, book a show, hey, book a show, hey, book a show. We're saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about Pampered Chef. Look at my new kit. Look at the new tools I got, right? Do an unboxing. Take pictures of you with your stuff. Tell them what your favorite product is out of the kit. Share your excitement with them. When you have a show, talk about how much your host got for free. Talk about how much fun they had, right? That's what appeals to people. I want you to set your goal. If you could meet any goal in your first 30 days, what would it be? And I want you to send that to your recruiter and set up a time to talk with them this week. Okay. So I'm going to put these little challenge to-dos in our new consultant chat group. If you are not in that new consultant chat group, let us know and we'll make sure that we get you added. It is actually, it's called August and September 2024 new consultant chat group. It's got a little bus emoji at the front. So Sabrina's not there. Sabrina, we can get you in there if you'd like. Anybody
I'm not
else?
in there. Yeah, me.
What's your name, please?
Doris. Doris Clock.
All right, Miss Doris, we'll get you in there. So we'll share all this information, and you all, let's use that group to network. And when you get bookings, share it in there. Like, be excited. We're all kind of in the same spot, and our excitement is contagious. Jay Kitchen needs to be put in there too. Let's see. Consultant chat. Cecilia needs to be put in there. New consultant chat. I'm writing my notes. Mullis. Okay. All right. If you're not in that chat, reach out to your recruiter or your director. Let them know so they can add you in there and you can get all these resources. We can cheer you on along your journey. And I'm so excited to have you all. And I know I'm past time, but thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. And I'm going to get you, get all these. I'll go ahead and throw those in the chat tonight. And I'll talk to you all next week. Same time, same Zoom link. All right, you all have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.